Disclaimer. Comments made in this video are intended solely for entertainment purposes and are not meant to harm or offend anyone.
Today, we're diving into some real talk where woke ideologies are put to the test. We're seeing how certain claims are being challenged and proven wrong. Stick around as we break down these misconceptions and shed some light on the truth. These are times when woke college students get instantly owned. Imagine Ben Shapiro calmly breaking down basic biology for a college student who's trying a bit too hard to act like they know what they're talking about.
Hello, my name is Stephen Benelli, and I have just a question about, in general, we have your preconceptions about gender and all that. So I'm wondering, I find it really unsatisfying when you talk about gender and being like male or female, as just reducing it down to chromosomes. Do you feel as if there's like a really important like social aspect to like being a man, you know, that just doesn't simply get like transcribed by your chromosomes? Do you think that there's like something more to like humans than just like their
I think there are
sexes?
masculine qualities that attach to biological manhood that have been generalized. They don't necessarily apply to everyone because you can have effeminate men who don't necessarily fit those categories. If you were to ask me what makes a good man or a useful man, I would give you a description that would include social categories like protecting your family, going out and earning, making sure that you build institutions in your society. Right?
So nothing that has to do with chromosomes.
But
nothing like chromosomes.
in the end, if you have to ask for a definition of male or female, what you're talking about is the most irreducible form of this is the biology, which is why you can uncover a body from 30,000 years ago, and a scientist can tell you whether it is a male or a female without ever knowing how that person lived.
He's direct and efficient, wasting no time. In just a few sentences, he makes it clear to the student that they don't know what they're talking about. Now, let's take a look at a moment when Charlie Kirk faced a student who challenged him, only to be completely shut down.
You dropped out of college, and your highest...
Community college.
Your Harper College experience, I apologize.
Barely was smart enough to make it through community college.
Okay, so...
Barely made it through high school,
your
too.
highest degree level is an honorary doctorate degree from Liberty University.
No, that's true. I do have an honorary PhD.
Yeah, so essentially, what are your qualifications for arguing that college is a scam, or really having any economical knowledge at all, when likely the vast majority of the students here know more than you about economics as a whole?
Okay, so... no, hold on. It's okay, guys. It's okay. Who's Milton Friedman?
Who's Milton Friedman? I have no idea, and it's not important to this conversation.
Who is Ludwig von Mises?
These are all probably economists, and they're the same
Yeah,
thing.
who is John Maynard Keynes?
Okay, obviously I know who Keynes is.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
He's the most famous economist of all time.
You don't know Milton Friedman?
I mean, that's an economist.
Okay, how about Murray Rothbard?
That's another economist.
F.A. Hayek?
I don't know who that is.
Well, then you just came here and insulted my intelligence. You're right, I barely made it through community college because I was too busy, I don't know, starting a national youth movement with hundreds of thousands of members.
Hey, hold on, though.
Hold on. Employing hundreds of people, raising hundreds of millions of dollars,
yes,
having a top 10 most popular podcast,
sure,
and reaching tens of millions of people online every day.
The student arrived determined to make Charlie look foolish for not attending college, but Charlie was more than prepared. The student had no idea what they were about to face.
Sure,
hold on.
But you're also
What are my
calling all of your
qualifications?
constituents idiots by
I've
saying
never
they
said that,
participate in a
actually.
scam. Their
Hold on a
shirts
second.
right there.
I'm
College
calling
is a
the
scam.
institution a scam.
So then
I never
why,
insulted the
so then-
intelligence. I just had 10 people come up and we had warm conversations. So you asked, what are my qualifications? I'm a job creator, entrepreneur, autodidact. Do you know what that word means? Yeah, self-taught. You know, you should probably learn that word if you're going to come up and insult other people's intelligence.
Hey.
So autodidacticism is what Leonardo da Vinci was. You don't have to go to college to be wise. You don't have to go to college to be intelligent. I read 100 books a year. I visit over 150 colleges.
I'm not saying you're unintelligent. I'm just saying you lack qualification.
He clearly picked the wrong person to call out for not attending college. He must not realize that both Bill Gates and Thomas Edison dropped out of college. But Charlie didn't stop there. He went on to demonstrate to the student that college hadn't done him any favors.
Treatise and documents in the Russian Revolution.
Lenin
before
was
he took
overtaken
over
by
the
Stalin.
capital. Hold on a second. No, Lenin died, and then Stalin was his successor.
Yes.
But Lenin himself said, quote, that socialism is the introductory phase to communism. Did he not say that?
So then the vast majority of people, when they're referring to communist Russia, are referring to Stalin's rule over Russia. That was a communist rule that turned into a fascist rule later on.
Okay, so but what thinker was deified in Soviet Russia?
What thinker was deified?
Yes.
Marx.
Oh, and what book did Marx write?
Yes, he wrote Capital, and he also wrote the
Communist Manifesto. Who was his co-author?
Who was co-author?
Yeah, angles. Good. I'm glad college is really paying off for you.
This wasn't the only student to challenge Charlie over his claim that college is a scam, but the next student believed he had the perfect argument to prove him wrong. What happened next, however, was unexpected.
Yeah, but
College is
it'd
an
be wrong to say
institution.
college is a scam if 25% of people become great people. You know, lawyers, doctors, engineers.
That's
able
not
to
what
really
college
help the
currently
world.
is, though. Again, I'm happy to have you read the book. College is a scam. I wrote it. I can have a more wordy thing, which is the vast majority of people that go to college are receiving a scam for the money that they're borrowing. Vast majority.
That's
Of course,
just,
there's exceptions. You can make whatever you want with your life. I mean, you could. But I mean, when you enter into an enterprise,
Yeah,
you
but
need to know
most
that
people
you are
that go
currently-
into college
let
make
me
more
prove
money
this to
at
you.
the end.
How many of you guys have to take classes that are a waste of time that you wish you wouldn't have to take? Every single hand. You're being scammed against your will to take classes that make you go further into debt. Why can't you say I don't want to take this class? Why are you Why as a customer you
Can
can't
you
say
do a differential equation?
You what?
Can you do a differential equation?
Can I do
Can
a
you explain to me the anatomy of a human?
like somewhat
You
off the
know
top of my
what
head?
psychology is.
Yes, I do know what psychology.
Okay,
I've read
can you
Freud and I've read
explain
Jung.
it to me?
Do you want me to explain psychology?
Well, you can't explain
Is-
it
is-
to the depths of a bachelor's degree or a PhD.
Well, hold
or
on a second.
master's.
Time out. I've sat here with no notes, no phone, and debated people with
Yeah, because
PhDs,
you study
masters.
this because it's your job.
Hold on. I didn't go to college, man. That's the point. Is you can do whatever you want without a college degree.
This student is gradually starting to understand why debating Charlie Kirk is never a good idea. As the conversation progresses, it's becoming clear just how difficult it is to keep up with his arguments. Watch as this situation unfolds. It's going to be interesting to see how this kid handles it.
Who engineered the stuff plumbers use?
I'm sure someone here. I mean, that it's like
someone with a
It's like
degree
saying who
from
designed
college.
the airplane for the pilot to fly. I mean.
Someone with a degree that went to college. Pilots go to college.
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm not saying you get rid of all places of higher learning. The way it's currently comprised for you guys, the amount of debt you have to go into, the
Well,
classes
you
that
say
you have to
don't
take.
get rid of places of higher
Okay,
learning, but then you go on to
you're
say
interrupting me
college
every
is a
15
scam.
seconds. You're not debating in good faith because it is a scam. So let me ask you a question. Can you point to other things of American life the last 100 years that have been scams? For example, when they run an advertisement, they say buy these pills because we're going to make you super muscular, and they don't have all the fine print that it might not work, and you have to have a monthly subscription. We shut down that business for being
That's a little
scam.
different, though. That's a
How is it
product.
different? Hold on a second. When you show up to college, did they tell you you have to take all these classes that you didn't sign up for? Did they? Oh, it said that you're gonna have to take all these different classes. Did they tell you that half of you guys would not ever use your degree when you go into your career? How many guys knew that? You guys knew that when you signed up?
Well, college
knew
is
that.
what you
Well, then
make of
you
it,
guys
right?
You guys are willingly participating in the scam. Good for you. The point is this, is that most kids know deep down they're getting ripped off. The number one thing I hear from people across the country in corporate America, boy, college is a waste of time. Boy, I wish I never would have gone. Now I have $60,000 in debt, $70,000 in debt. I wanted to start a business, but now I don't have the credit to do it. Instead, we are wasting our most prized possession, our 18 to 22-year-olds, to go stick them at many universities when they shouldn't be here in the first place. And it is a failed project. It is making us poorer. And by the way, just look at the actual numbers over a period of time. Has it worked? Is homeownership now going up for young college
Well, how
graduates?
are we going to blame that on college, though?
It's the
There's
no-
a
it's
lot
the-
of different
it is the
reasons that
most
people are not
equally
able to buy
applicable.
homes.
It's the most equally applicable thing across the board for a
I wouldn't
generation.
say so.
And if you look at the average, how much debt do you have to go to school, by the way?
None.
None. Okay, wow. Are you on scholarship or?
Yeah,
Okay, so who's paying for your college then?
probably the federal government.
Okay, so I'm paying for your college, is what you're saying. My
Al-
taxes are paying for your college.
Just when you thought these students couldn't get any more clueless, Charlie Kirk proves why he's respected. His ability to use logic and facts to decisively win arguments. You'll see this in the next clip.
I just want you to answer this one question. Do you understand that as a white man, you do not have to apologize for being white? You just have to acknowledge the racism that happens around you. That is all.
What racism happens around me?
Let's say that a racist police officer shoots me, right, and kills me, right? For you to be a white man and you see that and don't say anything about it, I believe that my community would be upset about that. Now, all you have to do as a white man, you don't have to get on the internet or on Twitter and say, I'm sorry for being white, but you should at least acknowledge the racism that happens around you.
Okay, well, yeah, if an individual act of racism happens.
That is just taking accountability for what happens around you.
Hold on a second. First of all, I don't have to be accountability for a whole race, do I? Why do I have to be accountable for the white race?
For yourself.
Right. So if I'm racist, I'll take responsibility
you
for that.
probably are not racist,
Well,
but
thank you. So then why do I have to
but-
comment on somebody else's racism?
but what you should do is take accountability for the racism around you.
This college student came in with a question, but it seems like he's just tossing out random ideas without much thought, even if they don't quite make sense. Charlie isn't about to let that slide.
Like, again, the example that I gave you, that if I was shot by a police officer and you found out that person was racist, right? Now,
But
what
why
you-
would
what
you
you
said
should-
take
what you should-
responsibility?
what you
How can I
should-
take
what-
responsibility for somebody else's
what
actions?
you should do is just take accountability and say, hey, yes, that was racist, instead of saying, no, that officer wasn't racist.
Well, hold on.
What,
You got to show me an instance and example, but we're
Okay.
talking about such a micro problem that doesn't exist. Do you know that a black person is 18 and a half times more likely to shoot and kill a police officer than a police officer is to go and shoot an unarmed black man?
but is that the question that I asked you?
No, you asked a hypothetical about if I'm going to take accountability for a racist police officer.
So again,
But
so
man, do you understand?
that is-
If I inverted it on you, would you take accountability for all the blacks killing police in America?
that was funny.
No, would you?
That-
No.
that
Why
was-
don't you take
listen,
accountability for all the
listen,
blacks
listen,
killing police in New
listen,
York?
I wouldn't take accountability for it, but what I would say is yes, there are a lot of black people in my community who do dumb things to other black people and to other white people. What I would not do is just pretend that it doesn't happen, so that, like I said, you as a white man has to do the same thing. You
I
should.
acknowledge it happens. I also acknowledge
That's it.
it's rarer
That's
than
it. That's
lightning
it.
striking
That is-
you
that is all.
when you're
That's-
outside.
that's it.
But let me ask you,
Acknowledging
who is Tony Timpa?
That's all I wanted you to. That's all I wanted you to do. Thank you.
I acknowledge it's rare, and I'm not going to have to take responsibility for an entire race at all. It's wrong and it's terrible. I wish we could have continued the conversation.
Let's put an end to this. If you're tired of the woke agenda and enjoy seeing it challenged, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any updates.